booth, we'd love to see you come by, and maybe you'll be the lucky person that gets to go to the NASCAR races. We are a partial sponsor of the #2 Penske NASCAR this year, Carlisle is. So that's pretty cool. We're all excited about it. Anyway, I'm Randy Ober, and I'm with Carlisle Syntec. I'm the product development manager for thermoplastics, and I love talking about TPO and PVC. So most people in the industry call me Mr. Heatwell. Well, they call me a lot of other names too, but that's probably the only one that I'm going to mention right now. So the first thing I want to talk to you a little bit about is pressure-sensitive TPO, or SAT, self-adhering technology. And this product is simply TPO membrane, reinforced TPO membrane with a pressure-sensitive adhesive on the back side. Carlisle had this product in 2007. We had it out for 1 year, and at that point we actually pulled it off the market. And you say, you know, why'd you do that? Because sales were good. The issue was we saw on a small percentage of projects what we call a phenomenon called mole tunneling. Does everybody here know what mole tunneling is? Or like mole runs, mole tunneling? Essentially what this is when you have expansion and contraction of TPO membrane, and what it does is, of course, when it expands, it's looking for the weakest link for all that accumulated membrane to go to. So it usually finds the insulation joints, and you get a little hump of TPO membrane down there. It's an aesthetic issue. It's not a performance issue, but still, when a building owner buys a fully adhered roof, he wants that to look like this, perfectly flat like a piece of glass. So this is the typical SAT project right here. You can see how flat it is. You can actually see the insulation plates. It's pulled down into the insulation plates. It's so flat. This is what 90% of our projects look like. But then all of a sudden, we started to see some issues like this. You can see right here, you can see it's pulled down into that polyiso knit lines. But what you can see is a couple places, like right here, a couple of these spots, you see little mole runs. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is a severe case of this. This is a severe case. If you have a fully adhered project and it looks like that, you're probably not going to be real satisfied with the look of it. Is it going to perform? Is it going to stay watertight? Absolutely. It's not going to blow off, but still, Carlisle wanted to have a product that's going to work 99.9% of the time and not see any of these kind of conditions. So what we thought, well, you know, we got competitors that have this product, and you know, they seem to have it all figured out. You know, how are they able to not have these same issues that we're experiencing? So what we did is we went on some of their websites to see if we could get some clues of what they did. So what I did is I pulled up one of their websites right here, and this was actually on the project showcase. So this is actually one of our competitors, pressure-sensitive TPO, and what do you see? You see a mole tunnel on every single insulation joint. So we thought, you know what, this isn't just unique to Carlisle, this is unique to the product. So what did we do? What we did is we took a look at the entire product, and we tried to re-engineer this product so that it's going to work consistently. The first thing we did is look at that adhesive. We thought if we make that adhesive stronger, it's going to be able to resist that expansion and contraction and that mole tunneling effect. So we did that. We made it more aggressive, more tacky, and more resistance to peel. Then what we did is we looked at the actual membrane itself, and we thought, okay, we're going to re-engineer this membrane with what we call a low coefficient of thermal expansion compound. So what that means is it doesn't expand and contract as much. If it doesn't expand and contract, you're not going to have an issue because there's not going to be that excess membrane anywhere, so we're not going to have this issue. So we incorporated that. We retained our Energy Star approval. And last, we used this opportunity to incorporate our OctaGuard XT weathering package. And if any of you guys were here last year at the IRE show, you might remember that Carlisle made a big promotion on the OctaGuard weathering package. And I only do this 1 year, okay? So everybody asked me, where's the suit this year? It's like, okay, 1 year is enough. But anyway, this weathering package simply resulted in a TPO membrane that's significantly better in heat resistance as well as UV resistance. So we incorporated that into all our TPO membranes to be able to resist the elements on the roof. Go ahead, Tom. Okay, so what's the advantages of SAT TPO or pressure-sensitive TPO? Number one, there's no VOCs, there's no liquid adhesives, there's no solvents. And you know, we all know that VOC regulations are not going away. If anything, they're going to get more severe and more restrictive throughout, and they're going to spread throughout the country. So this takes care of all that issue. The next thing is that, you know, I get that, you guys probably get the NRCA website mailer thing. It seems like I get it every day, but I think it only comes like once a week. But like every other time I read that, it's always they're evacuating this building because they sucked in, you know, solvent, smell, or something into the building or asphalt. This product has no smell. You know, there are low VOC or low VOC adhesives that are compliant, but the issue with those, even though they're VOC compliant, they still have that solvent smell. And you know what, people in schools, hospitals, government buildings, you know, I kind of like that smell. But for some reason, you know, they don't share my, my appreciation of that bonding adhesive smell in some of these other buildings. Once again, this is the perfect product to use in buildings where you're going to have sensitive occupants. Okay, one other thing now. Next thing that we do, we're always trying to make this product more contractor friendly. And right here you see they're pulling off the release liner. And you imagine we're pulling 100 feet of release liner off of this product. Well, it's windy out there on the roof and everything like that. And if that release liner would happen to flip upside down, which it's going to periodically, and actually contact the pressure sensitive adhesive on the other side, and you can imagine, I'm going to do this little demo, you imagine this is room temperature, so if this is 90 degrees outside, this is going to be about 130. So if it flips upside down and touches there, now all of a sudden, I can't get it off. So, I mean, if I have 100 feet of that and I'm trying to get that off as a contractor, it's going to make doing that job very difficult. So, you know, Carlisle, we decided, you know what, let's take the contractor into consideration. And what we did is we actually incorporated what we call a double-sided release liner. So here's our product, and we put the release liner on both sides of this liner so that if we do the same thing that I just showed you, and the release liner flips upside down. Now, I always feel like a magician when I do this, okay? Now, not only am I going to do that, I'm even going to step on it, okay? So I'm even going one more step, and now, right on. So, once again, it just makes the contractor's life a little easier in fully adhered and the real life type conditions that you're going to experience. We're only going to offer this product in 60 mil. This is a premium product. This is the way the industry is trending toward thicker TPOs. We are only going to offer this in 60 mil material. We continue to promote thicker is better, and that's the reason that we're only offering this in the 60 mil thickness. And don't you like to hear me? Okay, is that good? The other thing that we're going to do is we are not going to offer we're not going to offer adhesive seams. The beauty, I think everybody standing here realizes that the advantages of a thermoplastic membrane is the ability to heat weld it. You make that heat weld, it's like welding two pieces of metal together. It's stronger than the membrane itself. We are not going to offer tapes and adhesives in place of heat welding on this product. It's going to be strictly heat welded. It works really almost over every substrate. The only substrate that we really don't like to see it over, and I'm sorry if there's any wood fiberboard people in here, but there probably is, but is wood fiberboard. And mainly because it's kind of uneven on the top surface, and also you always notice that you have a lot of like fibers and stuff on the top of that wood fiberboard. And what happens if you stick to those loose fibers, it's not going to stick to anything solid. So really any other substrate except wood fiberboard. Okay, the real advantage though of this product, in addition to all the things that I just talked about, is the labor savings. This is an incredibly fast product to put down, fully adhered mode. And we find that it's about 20% of the labor required to install this versus actually doing it with a liquid adhesive. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call up two more of my trusted assistants, John and Dave. You coming? John and Dave. And we're going to go ahead and do half of this. What they're going to do, and once again, as they're doing this, just imagine if you're installing a standard fully adhered system, the process that you have to go through in order to install this. You'd have to do the same thing you're doing right now, flip your membrane back, but now you'd be getting out your 5-gallon buckets of bonding adhesive along with your 9-inch rollers. Go ahead. And you'd be spreading that on there, unless you're with Bob Burns up there and you got this better spreader, that might be a little faster way to do it. But, so anyway, he's going to remove the release liner, and see how good that SAT sticks to a shoe? John. So anyway, he's pulling up the release liner, and that exposes our pressure-sensitive adhesive. And now what we're going to do is roll this into place. I'm going to say it's almost impossible to put a wrinkle in that, but I've seen some people actually be able to do it. Be careful. Here, let it go in by itself. Let it go by itself. Don't work too hard. There you go. So it actually almost installed itself. Now we do recommend that you use the 150-pound roller. Instead of brooming it,